Dr. Valentina Kovac stood at the window of her office in the UNSC headquarters, watching the holographic projection of Earth's orbital defense network. The soft blue glow of the defensive satellites painted shadows across her face as she contemplated the message that had arrived just hours ago. 20 years of studying alien civilizations hadn't prepared her for this moment. "They're not asking, they're demanding," she muttered, her fingers tracing the outline of the datapad containing the consortium's ultimatum. Behind her, General Richard Harrison paced the room, his weathered face betraying the tension that had gripped Earth's military leadership. "How long do we have?" Harrison's voice was gruff, years of command evident in his tone. 72 hours to accept their terms," Valentina replied, turning to face him. "The consortium wants Earth to become a protected territory under their jurisdiction. They're offering technological advancement, interstellar trade rights, and protection from," she paused, checking the translation again, "hostile elements in the galaxy." Harrison's laugh was bitter. "Protection racket on a galactic scale. Nothing's changed except the size of the neighborhood." The meeting chamber of the United Nations Space Command was packed when Valentina entered. Representatives from every major nation sat around the circular table, their faces illuminated by the holographic display at the center. Director Thomas Zhang of the Intelligence Division stood at the podium, his usually composed demeanor showing cracks. "Ladies and gentlemen," Zhang began, "what we're about to share is classified at the highest levels." He nodded to his assistant, and the hologram shifted to show a series of images. "These were taken by our deep space probes over the last month. The consortium has been positioning forces well before their official contact." The images showed massive ships, each larger than anything humanity had ever constructed, moving into strategic positions around the solar system. Valentina's heart sank as she recognized the tactical pattern. They were being surrounded. "Dr. Kovac," called out Minister Amara Akafer from the African Union, "you've studied their communications. What aren't they telling us?" Valentina stepped forward, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "The consortium's language contains subtle hierarchical markers. When they speak of protection, their linguistic patterns match those used for subjugation, not alliance. They see us as resources to be managed, not partners to be elevated." The chamber erupted in heated discussion. Some argued for immediate compliance, citing humanity's technological disadvantage. Others called for defensive preparation, unwilling to surrender Earth's sovereignty without a fight. In the midst of the chaos, a new message arrived. Lieutenant Raj Patel burst into the chamber, his face pale. "Dr. Kovac, we've intercepted communication between consortium vessels. It's been decoded." Valentina's hands trembled as she read the decoded message. The room fell silent as she looked up, her expression grim. "They're not just seeking our submission. Earth sits on a quantum resonance point, a rare spatial phenomenon. They need our planet for something specific, something they're hiding from their own people." General Harrison stepped forward. "Then we don't have a choice. If we submit, we lose everything. If we fight." "We might lose everything faster," Zhang interrupted. Valentina shook her head. "No, we've been studying their technology for years through our long-range observations. We're not as far behind as they think. The quantum resonance point they want? Our scientists have been studying it for decades. We know things about our solar system that they don't." The next 48 hours were a blur of activity. While the public remained unaware of the true stakes, Earth's military and scientific communities mobilized with unprecedented unity. Hidden facilities around the globe activated protocols that had been in place for years, preparing for a moment many had hoped would never come. Dr. Jasper O'Neill, Earth's leading quantum physicist, presented his findings to the Emergency Council. "The resonance point gives us an advantage they don't expect. Their ships' faster-than-light drives will be compromised within our solar system's unique quantum field. We can use this." As the deadline approached, Valentina found herself in the UNSC's primary communication hub, preparing Earth's response. General Harrison stood beside her, along with newly appointed Fleet Commander Natasha Volkov, whose experience in tactical warfare had earned her the responsibility of coordinating Earth's defensive strategy. "The message is ready," Valentina announced, her finger hovering over the transmission control. The response was simple, dignified, and absolutely clear. Earth would not submit. "Send it," Harrison ordered. As the message transmitted across space, Valentina watched the tactical displays. The consortium ships were moving, but not as expected. They seemed confused by Earth's quantum field, their formations less precise than before. "They're feeling it already," Volkov observed, a slight smile playing at her lips. "Their ships are struggling with basic maneuvers in our space." Harrison nodded. "Then we have a fighting chance, but we'll need every advantage, every ally we can find." "There are others out there," Valentina revealed, pulling up data she'd been analyzing for years. "Other species who resist the consortium, we've detected their communications. They're watching, waiting to see if we'll stand up." As the first signs of the consortium's response appeared on their long-range sensors, Earth's leadership knew there was no turning back. The next few hours would determine humanity's future in the galaxy. In her office later that night, Valentina recorded a message for future generations. "Today, humanity made a choice. We chose to stand not because we are certain of victory, but because we are certain that some prices are too high to pay. The stars have watched us grow, struggle, and evolve. Now they will watch us fight for our right to determine our own destiny." The first shots weren't fired that day, but the universe held its breath. Humanity had answered the consortium's demand not with submission, but with defiance. And in doing so, they had changed the galaxy's balance of power forever. As dawn broke over Earth's major cities, citizens went about their daily lives, unaware that their world stood on the brink of its greatest challenge. But in hidden bunkers and secret facilities across the globe, humanity's defenders prepared for what was to come. The price of defiance would be high, but the cost of submission would be everything they were, everything they could become. The game had begun, and Earth had made its move. Captain James Wellington watched the simulated battle unfold in the holographic chamber of the Artemis base, hidden 2 kilometers beneath the lunar surface. His covert operations team, designated Phantom Unit, moved with practiced precision through the virtual scenario. They were testing Earth's newest stealth technology against simulated consortium detection systems. "Multiple bogeys, Sector 7, Lieutenant Kira Patel called out, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. The team's technical specialist had spent months studying intercepted consortium communications, learning their detection patterns. "Deploy quantum mirrors," Wellington ordered. The experimental technology activated, bending light and energy around their ships, making them virtually invisible to conventional sensors. It wasn't perfect, yet, but it was their best chance at gathering intelligence on the enemy's movements. The lunar base shuddered slightly as another vessel docked in the hidden hangar complex. Wellington checked the identification and smiled. The supply ship had arrived with the latest prototype upgrades for their fleet. Earth had been preparing for this possibility longer than the consortium realized. In his private quarters later that evening, Wellington reviewed the classified reports from Earth's other covert facilities. Operation Shadow Shield was proceeding faster than expected. The quantum resonance field that made their solar system unique had proven to be both a blessing and a challenge. While it disrupted consortium FTL capabilities, it also required constant adjustments to Earth's own developing technologies. His comm unit chimed with an encrypted message from Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, head of Project Eclipse. "Captain, we've made a breakthrough. The quantum field isn't just disrupting their drives, it's giving us a window into their communications. We can see echoes of their transmissions before they're sent." Wellington's pulse quickened. Precognitive signals, how reliable? 60% accuracy at present, but improving. We're seeing fragments of their battle plans hours before they execute them. Before Wellington could respond, alarms blared through the base. Red emergency lights bathed the corridors in an ominous glow. He sprinted to the command center, where Lieutenant Colonel Regina Martinez was already coordinating a response. Sleeper agents activated in Geneva and New Delhi, Martinez reported, her voice tight with controlled anger. They hit the public research facilities but missed the real labs. They don't know about our underground network. Wellington cursed under his breath. They'd known the consortium had infiltrators on Earth, but the timing was troubling. They're trying to cripple our research capabilities before launching their main assault. What's the damage? Minimal to actual operations, but... Martinez paused, bringing up a tactical display. Sir, they targeted our public quantum research facilities. They know we're using the resonance field. The next 48 hours were a blur of activity. Phantom unit deployed to 3 different locations, neutralizing sleeper cells before they could strike. Each agent they captured provided another piece of the puzzle, revealing the extent of the consortium's infiltration and their fears. In a secure briefing room, Wellington met with his team and Earth's top military leadership via encrypted quantum channels. General Harrison's hologram flickered slightly, a side effect of the quantum interference. The consortium's getting desperate, Wellington reported. Their agents' primary objective wasn't just sabotage, they were looking for something specific, data on how we're adapting to the quantum field. Dr. Kovacs' hologram nodded. They're supposed to be centuries ahead of us technologically, finding out we've mastered something they struggle with. It challenges their superiority, Harrison finished, and superior beings don't like being challenged. A priority alert flashed across the screens. Lieutenant Patel's fingers flew across her console. Multiple contacts detected at the edge of the system, massive energy signatures, bigger than anything we've seen before. Wellington studied the data, his military training warring with disbelief. The consortium was deploying something new, something that hadn't appeared in any of their intelligence reports. They're bringing in planet killers, he realized. They're done playing diplomatic games. Time to show them our own surprises, Harrison declared. Captain Wellington, Operation Nightfall is now active. You have full authorization. Wellington's team moved with practiced efficiency, activating systems that had been built in secret over the past decade. Throughout the solar system, hidden facilities powered up. Automated defense platforms emerged from asteroid hideaways. And deep within the lunar base, prototype ships unlike anything humanity had officially acknowledged began powering up their engines. Phantom lead to all units, Wellington broadcast on the secure channel. Execute deployment pattern Delta, weapons free but maintain stealth protocols. Let them think they've got us cornered. The prototype ships slipped out of their lunar berths, their quantum mirror technology making them nearly invisible against the star-filled backdrop of space. They carried weapons that used the very quantum resonance field the consortium struggled with, turning Earth's solar system itself into a weapon. But as they moved into position, Wellington received an urgent message from Dr. Tanaka. The quantum precognition system had picked up something disturbing. The consortium's planet killers weren't just weapons, they were carrying something else. Something that would change the nature of the war entirely. Captain, Tanaka's voice was grim. They're not just here to conquer Earth, they're terrified of what we might become, the quantum field. It's changing us, changing our technology, our potential. They're here to stop what they think we're evolving into. Wellington processed this information as his fleet moved silently through space. Humanity wasn't just fighting for independence anymore. They were fighting for their future, a future that scared one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy. In the darkness of his command deck, Wellington smiled. Fear was a weakness, and the consortium had just revealed theirs. All units maintain position, he ordered. Let them make the first move. We've got something they don't. What's that, sir? Lieutenant Patel asked. Nothing to lose, everything to gain, and a few thousand years of human stubbornness. Wellington watched as the massive consortium ships drew closer to Earth's orbit. And we're about to show them exactly what that means. The quantum field hummed through their ships, through their very beings, a reminder that humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to adapt, to survive, to turn weaknesses into advantages. The consortium thought they were coming to put down a primitive species. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. As the first rays of sunlight crept over the lunar horizon, Wellington gave the order that would begin the real war. Operation Nightfall is go. Show them what humanity can do. The darkness of space lit up with the first shots of a battle that would determine not just Earth's fate, but the future of human evolution itself. The Shadow War was about to step into the light. Admiral Yuki Tanaka stood on the bridge of the EFS Stormbreaker, Earth's most advanced battleship, watching Mars grow larger in the main viewport. The red planet's surface was dotted with the gleaming structures of human colonies, now evacuated in preparation for what was to come. Her fleet of 30 ships, each equipped with the revolutionary quantum shield technology, maintained perfect formation despite the disrupting effects of the solar system's quantum field. "Status report," she commanded, her voice carrying the weight of 2 decades of military service. Lieutenant Commander Raj Mehta looked up from his tactical station. "Quantum shield harmonics are stable at 98%. The consortium fleet is maintaining position in the Martian orbit, 12 ships detected. They haven't noticed us yet." Tanaka nodded, her expression unchanged. The quantum shield was humanity's greatest technological achievement, a defense system that didn't just block enemy fire but redirected the energy through the quantum field itself. Each hit would make them stronger, feeding power back into their systems. "Message from Earth Command," announced Communications Officer Wei Chen. "Operation Thunder Lance is greenlit. We have full authorization to engage." The Admiral touched the medallion at her neck, a family heirloom carrying the image of an ancient Japanese storm god. "Send to all ships, battle stations. Prepare to break stealth on my mark." The bridge crew moved with practiced efficiency, but Tanaka could feel their tension. This would be humanity's first major offensive against the consortium. They had to prove that Earth wasn't just capable of defending itself, it could strike back. "Admiral," Mehta called out suddenly, "new contacts. Multiple consortium vessels emerging from FTL at coordinates 227 Mark 45. Tanaka's eyes narrowed. The quantum field should have made FTL travel nearly impossible in this region, unless... They've adapted, she realized. Faster than we expected. How many? 25 ships, heavy class. They're struggling with navigation, but they're here. The element of surprise was gone, but Tanaka had planned for this contingency. Launch Operation Rising Storm. All ships, drop stealth and engage combat protocols. Show them what we can do. The human fleet shimmered into visibility, their quantum shields creating a spectacular display of energy patterns against the backdrop of space. The consortium ships reacted immediately, their weapon systems charging. "Enemy vessels launching fighters," reported Tactical Officer Jessica O'Malley. "Different design than our intel suggested. They're smaller, probably adapted for better maneuverability in the quantum field." "They learn fast," Tanaka acknowledged. "So do we deploy our quantum drones." From the hangars of each Earth vessel, swarms of unmanned fighters emerged. Unlike traditional drones, these were designed to work with the quantum field, using its disrupting effects to their advantage. They moved in patterns that seemed to defy physics, leaving trailing wisps of quantum energy in their wake. The space around Mars erupted in chaos as the two forces clashed. Consortium energy weapons splashed against quantum shields, their power being absorbed and redirected. Earth's ships responded with precisely targeted strikes, their weapons enhanced by the very field that hindered their enemy. "Admiral," Chen's voice cut through the tactical chatter. "Priority message from Earth Command. It's about Vice Admiral Henderson." Tanaka felt a chill run down her spine. Henderson was her mentor, the man who had helped develop many of their current strategies. "Put it through to my private channel." The message was brief but devastating. Henderson had been found in his office, dead by his own hand. But the evidence suggested it wasn't suicide. He had been compromised, forced to take his own life by something the consortium had done to him. "They got to him," Tanaka muttered. "How many more of our leaders?" She forced the thought aside. There would be time for investigation later. Right now, her fleet was in the middle of the most important battle in human history. Multiple hits on consortium flagship. O'Malley reported with satisfaction. Their shields are failing. Wait, Admiral, they're deploying something new. The enemy flagship's hull split open, revealing a massive weapon unlike anything they'd seen before. Energy readings went off the scale as it charged, drawing power from the quantum field itself. All ships evasive action, Tanaka ordered. Redirect all available power to forward shields. The weapon fired, a beam of concentrated quantum energy that cut through space like a blade through paper. 2 Earth ships caught in its path vanished instantly, their atoms scattered to the solar wind. Analysis, Tanaka demanded. Maida worked frantically at his console. They're using our own research against us, weaponizing the quantum field directly, but the power requirements must be enormous. Their ship systems are showing signs of severe strain. Tanaka saw their opportunity. Target that weapon with everything we have. All ships, coordinate fire on my mark. Let's show them why you don't give your enemy the stick you're going to be beaten with. The human fleet moved as one, their attacks synchronized with a precision the consortium hadn't expected. Quantum-enhanced weapons fire converged on the enemy flagship's exposed weapon. For a moment, the quantum field itself seemed to pause, as if holding its breath. The explosion was spectacular. The consortium flagship's weapon overloaded, the quantum energies it had tried to control turning back on itself. The massive ship broke apart, its destruction triggering a chain reaction through the nearby enemy vessels. Enemy fleet is in disarray, O'Malley reported. They're attempting to retreat, but the quantum field is making it difficult. We have them. But Tanaka noticed something in the tactical display that gave her pause. The enemy ships weren't just retreating, they were falling back in a specific pattern. Hold position, she ordered. Something's not right. Her instincts proved correct. As the consortium fleet pulled back, new signals appeared on their sensors. Hidden platforms around Mars, obviously pre-positioned, began activating. They weren't weapons, they were quantum field amplifiers. They're trying to turn our advantage against us, Tanaka realized. If they can amplify the field enough, none of our ships will be able to function. She opened a channel to all ships. This is Admiral Tanaka. Execute Emergency Protocol Omega. Fall back to secondary positions. The human fleet began its strategic withdrawal, but they had achieved something unprecedented. A victory against superior forces, proving that humanity could not only stand against the consortium, but could beat them at their own game. As the Stormbreaker led the fleet back to their fallback positions, Tanaka reviewed the battle data. They had lost 3 ships and nearly 400 personnel, but they had destroyed 7 consortium vessels and severely damaged many more. More importantly, they had proven that the quantum shield technology worked. Message to Earth Command, she dictated. Phase 1 of Operation Thunder Lance complete. Enemy forces significantly damaged, but they're adapting to the quantum field faster than predicted. Request immediate implementation of Phase 2. We need to press our advantage before they can fully counter our technology. The response came quickly. Phase 2 authorized. Good hunting, Admiral. Tanaka looked out at the stars, her expression determined. They had won this battle, but the war was far from over. The consortium would be back with new weapons and tactics. But humanity would be ready. They had to be. All ships, she broadcast, prepare for Phase 2 operations. The storm is rising, and we're going to show the galaxy exactly what humanity can do when pushed too far. As her fleet regrouped, Tanaka thought of Henderson and the other losses they had suffered. The price of defiance was high, but the cost of submission would be even higher. The next phase would be crucial, not just for the war, but for humanity's future among the stars. Lieutenant Colonel Diana Rodriguez guided her stealth ship, the Ghost Dagger, through the debris field of the asteroid belt. What once had been a natural scatter of space rocks was now a graveyard of destroyed vessels, both human and consortium. The perfect hiding place for her guerrilla fleet. Contact bearing 340, whispered Lieutenant Zara Patel, her sensor specialist. In space, whispering was unnecessary, but the tension made everyone speak softly. Consortium patrol, 3 light cruisers. Rodriguez smiled grimly. Just like clockwork, status of the quantum wake. Operating within parameters, reported Chief Engineer Viktor Petrov from his station. They won't detect our signature unless they're right on top of us. The Ghost Dagger was humanity's newest weapon in the war, a ship designed not just to hide from enemy sensors, but to actively manipulate the quantum field around it. Rodriguez's guerrilla fleet had been using this technology to devastating effect, striking consortium supply lines and vanishing before retaliation could arrive. Message from the Harbinger, Patel announced, referring to their sister ship. They've made contact with the Nexus. Rodriguez's pulse quickened. The Nexus was a group of alien species who had also suffered under consortium rule. After months of careful diplomacy, they were finally ready to help Earth's cause. But first, they needed to prove themselves worthy allies. Begin Operation Shadow Strike, Rodriguez ordered. All ships move to attack positions. Remember, we need to disable, not destroy. Our new friends want to study consortium technology up close. Her fleet of 10 ships slipped through the asteroid field, their quantum-wake drives leaving no trace of their passage. The consortium patrols never saw them coming. The first strike took out the lead cruiser's engines with surgical precision. Before the other ships could react, Rodriguez's fleet had them surrounded. Enemy vessels attempting to send distress signals, Patel reported. Let them, Rodriguez replied. Jam their quantum communications, but let the standard transmissions through. We want the consortium to know we're here, just not exactly where or how many we are. The battle was brief but intense. The consortium ships fought hard, but they were outmaneuvered at every turn. Rodriguez's fleet had spent months practicing in the asteroid field, learning to use the space rocks and quantum field disruptions to their advantage. All enemy vessels disabled, announced Tactical Officer Hamid Rahman. Minimal structural damage as requested. The Nexus will be pleased. Rodriguez allowed herself a moment of satisfaction before moving to the next phase. Begin recovery operations. I want those ships secured and ready for transport within 30 minutes. As her crews worked, a transmission came through on a frequency she'd never seen before. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a figure that made several bridge crew members gasp. The alien was unlike anything in Earth's databases. It seemed to shift and flow, its form barely contained within humanoid parameters. Lieutenant Colonel Rodriguez, it said, its voice resonating directly in their minds. I am Zykestel of the Nexus. Your demonstration was impressive. Rodriguez maintained her composure. Thank you, Zykestel. I trust this proves Earth's worthiness as an ally. More than worthy, the alien replied. You have shown not just strength, but precision, control. The consortium believes they are superior because of their technology. You have proven that innovation and adaptation are more valuable. Then you'll help us. We will do more than help. We will share. Zykestel's form shimmered. Our scientists have studied the quantum field anomalies in your solar system. We believe we know why the consortium fears your potential so much. The alien transmitted a data packet that made Chief Engineer Petrov swear in Russian. Colonel, these specifications, they're showing us how to build something impossible. Not impossible, Zykestel corrected. Simply beyond what the consortium believes lesser species should achieve. They fear you because you have done in decades what took them centuries, and with our help you will do even more. The next few hours were a blur of activity. As Rodriguez's fleet secured their prizes and rendezvoused with Nexus ships hidden in the outer solar system, more allies emerged from hiding. Species that had suffered under consortium rule, watching and waiting for someone to prove it was possible to fight back. We've received technical data from 6 different species, Petrov reported, his eyes wide with excitement. Each one has a piece of the puzzle we've been trying to solve, together. Together we can turn the quantum field from a disruption into a weapon, Rodriguez finished. How long to implement? With their help, days, not weeks, the consortium won't know what hit them. But as Rodriguez studied the tactical displays, something bothered her. They've been too quiet since Admiral Tanaka's victory at Mars. What are they planning? Her answer came sooner than expected. Emergency signals lit up across all frequencies. Patel's face went pale as she decoded the messages. Colonel, they're attacking the lunar colonies, all of them. They've found a way to bypass our quantum shield defenses. Rodriguez felt her blood run cold. The lunar colonies housed millions of civilians, and more importantly, many of Earth's critical research facilities. How long until the main fleet can respond? Too long, Raman answered grimly. The consortium is jamming conventional drive systems. Only ships with the new quantum wake technology can get through. Rodriguez looked at her small fleet, then at the holographic image of Zyxtal. How fast can your ships be ready for combat? The alien's form pulsed with what might have been excitement. We have waited generations for this opportunity. We are ready now. All ships battle stations, Rodriguez commanded. Zyxtal, have your forces rendezvous with us at these coordinates. The consortium wants to prove their superiority. Let's show them what real cooperation looks like. As her fleet prepared for battle, Rodriguez received one more transmission from Earth Command. The message was brief but changed everything. Colonel Rodriguez, you are hereby promoted to Field Commander. Take command of all available forces and proceed to Luna. Stop them at any cost. The promotion wasn't about recognition. It was about necessity. Earth needed someone who understood both the new technology and guerrilla tactics. Someone who could work with their alien allies as equals, not subordinates. Plot course for Luna, Rodriguez ordered. Maximum speed, and send word to all our new allies. The real war starts now. The Ghost Dagger led the combined fleet toward Earth's moon, where the future of not just humanity but all species who yearned for freedom would be decided. The quantum field hummed around them, no longer a hindrance but a herald of change. Rodriguez touched the old compass her grandmother had given her years ago, a family tradition for warriors. The needle spun uselessly in the quantum disturbance, but its meaning remained true. Sometimes the path to victory required steering into the storm. All ships prepare for combat, she broadcast. Today we prove that the galaxy is big enough for all of us except tyrants. The counterstrike had begun, and with it, the chance to reshape the balance of power in the galaxy forever. Fleet Commander Marcus Chen watched the holographic display aboard the EFS Prometheus, Earth's newest flagship. The massive vessel hung in Jupiter's orbit, its quantum-enhanced hull gleaming in the gas giant's reflected light. Behind him, the combined fleet of Earth and its alien allies stretched across space, the largest gathering of anti-consortium forces in galactic history. Final fleet check, he ordered, his voice steady despite the weight of the moment. His XO, Commander Nadia Volkov, worked her console with practiced efficiency. Earth forces at full combat readiness. Nexus Fleet reports all ships synchronized with our quantum field protocols. The Urkath battle groups have adapted their weapons to our frequencies. The Sylvan stealth squadrons are in position. And our surprise? Chen asked. Dr. Carla Ortiz reports the quantum resonance cascade device is ready. One shot, as planned. Chen nodded, studying the tactical overlay. The device was humanity's ultimate gamble, a weapon designed to turn the solar system's unique quantum field into a system-wide disruption wave. It would either break the consortium's technological advantage or tear reality apart. The simulations suggested the former, but science at this scale was always uncertain. Consortium fleet detected, announced Sensor Chief Talon Blake. Multiple super-dreadnoughts emerging from quantum space. There, sir, they're bringing everything. The holographic display filled with red markers as the largest consortium fleet ever assembled materialized near Jupiter's outer orbit. Their ships were different, evolved. The sleek, organic curves of their earlier vessels had been replaced with angular, aggressive designs better suited to the quantum-disrupted space of the solar system. They've committed their entire regional force, Volkov observed. Nearly 1,000 ships. Because they finally understand, Chen replied. This isn't just about Earth anymore. This is about breaking their power forever. He opened a channel to all allied ships. All vessels, this is Fleet Commander Chen. You know why we're here. Every species represented in this fleet has suffered under consortium rule. They believe their technology makes them superior. Their protection is nothing but chains. He paused, watching as the enemy fleet began forming up. Today, we prove that true strength comes not from dominance but cooperation, not from superiority but understanding. Execute battle plan Prometheus. The combined fleet moved with coordinated grace, each species' ships utilizing their unique strengths. The Arcath heavy cruisers formed the central battle line, their crystalline hulls pulsing with energy. Sylvan stealth ships darted between asteroids, setting up quantum mines. Earth vessels activated their latest generation shields, creating a protective web of overlapping fields. The consortium struck first, launching a barrage that would have annihilated any single species fleet. But the Allied ships moved as one, their defenses complementing each other in ways the consortium had never seen. Return fire, Chen ordered. All ships engage at will. Space erupted in chaos as the two fleets clashed. Consortium energy beams splashed against Arcath crystal shields, while Earth quantum torpedoes slipped through gaps created by Sylvan sensor ghosts. It was a dance of technology and tactics, each side adapting and counter-adapting in real time. Multiple breaches in Sector 7, Volkov reported. They're targeting our command ships. As expected, Chen replied calmly. Signal the Nexus vessels, execute Phase 2. The Nexus ships, which had been holding back, suddenly surged forward. Their organic technology hybrid vessels seemed to phase between dimensions, appearing inside the consortium formation. The enemy fleet's perfect coordination began to break down as they fought enemies that seemed to ignore physical laws. But the consortium hadn't become the galaxy's dominant power through weakness. Their flagship, a behemoth that dwarfed even the Prometheus, began charging a weapon that made every sensor on Chen's bridge scream in alarm. They're channeling the quantum field itself, Blake announced, his voice tight. Power readings are off the scale. All ships clear the target zone, Chen ordered. Dr. Ortiz, status of the Cascade device. Ready on your command, the scientist replied from her station deep within the Prometheus. But sir, if their weapon fires first. It won't, Chen stated, because they've given us exactly what we needed. They're channeling the quantum field through their entire fleet. Signal all ships, execute Operation Chainbreaker. Throughout the battle space, Allied ships activated hidden protocols. The quantum field, which had been fluctuating chaotically during the battle, began to stabilize in a very specific pattern. The consortium fleet found itself trapped in a web of quantum energy they themselves had helped create. Cascade device firing solution locked, Ortiz reported. Sir, this will change everything. The quantum field will never be the same. Chen took a deep breath. Neither will the galaxy fire. The Cascade device activated, sending a pulse of energy that rode the quantum field like a wave through the entire solar system. For a moment, space itself seemed to hold its breath. Then reality shuddered. The effect on the consortium fleet was devastating. Their quantum-based technology, so advanced and powerful, became their undoing. Ships began to lose power, their complex systems unable to handle the cascading disruptions. Multiple consortium vessels powering down, Blake reported, excitement creeping into his professional tone. Their quantum grid is collapsing. The entire command and control network is failing. All ships attack Pattern Delta, Chen ordered. Concentrate fire on their capital ships. Don't let them recover. The Allied fleet struck with everything they had. Earth quantum torpedoes, Arcath crystal beams, and Sylvan phantom strikes tore through suddenly vulnerable consortium vessels. The mighty flagship, its super weapon now useless, found itself surrounded by ships it had once dismissed as primitive. Incoming transmission, Volkov announced, from the consortium flagship. Chen nodded, put it through. The holographic image showed a consortium high commander, a being of pure energy contained within an ornate mechanical shell. You've destroyed centuries of progress, it accused. The quantum field was our greatest achievement. No, Chen corrected. Your greatest failure was believing you owned it. The quantum field belongs to no one. You built your empire on the belief that your technology made you superior. We've proved that cooperation beats domination every time. You cannot maintain order without. We're not interested in your kind of order, Chen interrupted. Surrender your vessels and prepare to negotiate with the new interstellar alliance. The age of the consortium is over.